You're thinking about buying a used electric car. It seems like the smart move: no gas bills, quiet ride, futuristic tech, and a lower price than new. But here's the truth. What looks like a bargain could turn into one of the most expensive mistakes you ever make. Every year, thousands of used AV buyers discover hidden problems after the deal, from batteries losing half their range to software locks that cost hundreds to unlock. And the worst part? Most of these issues don't show up until months after you've driven the car home. So before you buy a used Tesla, Nissan Leaf, or Chevy Bolt, stop for a minute. Because today, we're revealing the 10 hidden problems nobody talks about when it comes to used electric cars, and how to avoid wasting thousands of dollars. Welcome to Car Hacks and Money, the channel that saves you money every mile. Here, we don't just talk about cars, we talk about the smart side of owning them. If you're tired of dealership tricks, overpriced repairs, and car advice that costs more than it saves, hit that subscribe button now, because what you're about to learn could save you a fortune. Let's dive in. #10 Battery health isn't what you think. The battery is the heart of an electric car, and it is also the most expensive part. Most buyers assume if the car still charges and drives, the battery must be fine. But AV batteries don't fail overnight, they slowly lose capacity, mile by mile. For example, a 2017 Nissan Leaf that originally had 150 miles of range might only deliver 95 miles today. That's 35% gone, and that loss directly kills resale value and daily usability. Unlike a gas car where you can check compression or oil health, battery health isn't easy to inspect. Dealers rarely provide a full diagnostic report. Even the dashboard's state of health readings can be misleading. Here's the fix. Always ask for a battery health report from the manufacturer or a certified AV service center before buying. If the battery has lost more than 20% capacity, walk away, unless you're getting a serious discount. Remember, a replacement IV battery can cost between $7,000 and $18,000, depending on the model. That's not a repair. That's a full rebuild. A healthy battery is the difference between a good deal and a financial disaster. Why? Hidden repair costs. Electric cars have fewer moving parts, but that doesn't mean repairs are cheaper. In fact, they can be far more expensive and harder to find mechanics for. Many independent garages still aren't trained or certified to repair high-voltage systems. That means if something breaks, like a cooling pump, inverter, or high-voltage connector, you may have to go to a dealership. And dealership EV repairs? They can charge double or even triple the hourly rate of a traditional mechanic. Take the Chevy Bolt as an example. A simple battery coolant leak can cost over $3,000 to fix. A damaged onboard charger, up to $2,500. Worse, some used EVs have been in minor accidents that damaged the battery pack housing. And even if it is safe, insurance companies often total the car because replacement parts are so expensive. Smart move. Before buying, check the service history carefully. Make sure the car was repaired by an authorized AV center and inspect the underbody for any signs of battery damage or corrosion. EVs save money in fuel, not always in fixes. Why? Charging speed decline. When new EVs charge fast, sometimes from 20% to 80% in under 30 minutes. But over time, that speed drops. This happens because the battery management system limits charging rates to protect older cells. A 2018 Tesla Model 3 might have started out charging at 150 kilowatts, but years later, it might only reach 100 kilowatts, adding 15 to 20 minutes to every fast charge session. It's not something you'll notice during a test drive. It's only after a few weeks of road trips that the slower charging becomes obvious. Here's the trick. Check the car's charging curve using apps like PlugShare or Recurrent. These track how fast the battery actually charges compared to when it was new. If the car charges significantly slower than its original spec, it's a sign of aging cells. And while this doesn't make the car unsafe, it makes road trips longer and resale value lower, because new buyers want speed and convenience. #7 Software locks and subscriptions. Here's a new kind of problem: software paywalls. Some automakers now lock features behind paid subscriptions, even in used cars. For example, a used BMW i4 or Mercedes EQ, you might have heated seats or enhanced driving modes disabled unless you pay a monthly fee. Tesla has done this for years, selling used cars that have autopilot or full self-driving features disabled, even if the previous owner already paid for them. Imagine buying a car that has all the hardware but you can't use it without another payment. That's becoming more common. The solution: before buying, ask for a list of active and inactive software features. Check whether things like adaptive cruise, fast charging, or remote app control are included or locked behind a subscription. Don't just check what features the car has, check what features are still active. Otherwise, you might buy a downgraded version without realizing it. Number Y. Limited range in real life. Most EVs advertise impressive range numbers minus 300 miles, 250 miles, and so on. But in reality, you'll rarely see those numbers. Cold weather, high speeds, cargo weight, and even tire pressure can slash your real-world range by up to 40%. A 2020 Tesla Model Y rated for 316 miles might only get around 190 to 220 miles in winter driving. And if you're buying used, range loss from battery degradation makes it worse. Example: a used Hyundai Kona AV might still show 270 miles on the dashboard, but after 60,000 miles, real-world range might be closer to 200. How to protect yourself? Always test drive the car until the battery drops by at least 20%. Track how many miles it actually covers, then multiply by 5 to estimate real-world range. This gives you a much more realistic expectation of how it performs in daily driving. Number Y. Warranty confusion. EV warranties can be tricky, and this is where many used buyers get burned. Most manufacturers offer separate warranties for the battery and the rest of the car. For example, you might get 8 years or 100,000 miles for the battery, but only 3 years or 36,000 miles for everything else. Now, here's the catch. If you buy used, you may not automatically inherit that full warranty, especially if the car changed ownership multiple times. Some warranties are non-transferable or require re-registration with the automaker. Others may be void if the car was used for rideshare or had aftermarket modifications. Before you buy, call the manufacturer with the VIN and confirm exactly what's covered and for how long. A few minutes on the phone can save you thousands if a battery issue shows up later. #4. Outdated tech and unsupported apps. Technology moves fast, and electric cars rely heavily on software. But what happens when the tech goes out of date? Some older EVs no longer support critical apps, navigation updates, or mobile connectivity. Nissan discontinued several app services for early Leafs. Older BMW i models have lost remote access features. That means you can't precondition the cabin, check charge status, or use navigation from your phone anymore. Tip: before buying, check the manufacturer's support page to see if the car still receives updates. If the infotainment system is slow, unsupported, or missing updates, it'll feel outdated fast and resale value drops. Number A. Insurance costs. Here's something few people expect. EV insurance is often higher than gas cars. Why? Because repair costs and parts are expensive, and many insurers still consider EVs premium vehicles. According to 2025 data, insuring an EV can cost 25 to 40% more than an equivalent gas car. Even a small fender bender can mean thousands in repairs, especially if sensors or battery components are affected. What to do? Before you buy, get a pre-purchase insurance quote using the car's VIN. That's the only way to see the true monthly cost. Don't assume lower fuel costs mean lower ownership costs. Insurance can wipe out that savings fast. #2 Resale value drop. Ironically, many used EVs lose value faster than gas cars. New models come out every year with better range, faster charging, and smarter tech, making older ones feel outdated quickly. A Tesla Model S from 2017 that cost $100,000 new might sell for under $30,000 today. That S is a 70% drop, far worse than most luxury gas cars from the same year. And because EV incentives keep changing, some cars get hit twice. Once from depreciation, and again from shifting tax credit rules that make new cars cheaper than used ones. Pro tip: if you're buying used, buy at least 2 generations old, so depreciation has already hit. A 3 or 4-year-old EV is often the best balance between price and remaining battery life. Number A. The smart buying checklist. Alright, let's wrap this up with what really matters: how to buy smart. Before signing that deal, here's your used EV buyer checklist. Battery health report. Never buy without one. Charging test. Verify it charges fast and evenly. Software features. Confirm what's active and what's paid. Warranty status. Confirm coverage with the manufacturer. Insurance quote. Get one before you buy. Range test. Drive and measure real miles, not dashboard numbers. Service history. Check who did the maintenance, EV certified shops only. Recalls. Many EVs had software or battery recalls. Make sure they're done. Tech support. Confirm apps and updates still work. Price versus battery life. If the car is cheap but the battery is weak, it is not a deal. Buying used doesn't have to mean taking a risk, it just means being smarter than the seller. So the next time you see a great deal on a used electric car, take a closer look. Because the truth is, not all EVs age the same. Some keep running strong for years. Others start losing value and performance faster than you expect. If you know what to look for, you can save thousands and drive electric the smart way. This has been Car Hacks and Money, where we help you protect your car, your wallet, and your sanity. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and share this with someone thinking about buying a used AV. It might just save them from a $10,000 mistake.